RTÉ's first Eurovision was staged in Dublin's Gaiety Theatre. For the first time in Ireland, it was broadcast in colour, and the first of our presenters was Bernadette ní Gallagher.
She certainly showed those signs of nerves, the way she just presented, opened the contest there, first of all in Irish, then French.
Bonsoir, mesdames, messieurs. C'est avec grand plaisir que nous vous souhaitons la bienvenue au 16e concours Eurovision de la chanson.
Then in English.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to extend
we saw this as a huge challenge, you know, that we would establish ourselves in terms of the technical quality and the production and programme making quality we could bring to it. There was also some tension and controversy within RT as to whether this was the right thing to do. On the night, the Gaiety was picketed, and it was picketed by people who believed that sort of spending our money in this way might imperil the jobs of people who might be doing another and broader range of programmes. In the event, that didn't prove to be the case.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for
the voting, and to begin with, I'd like to introduce Frank Neff, the official scrutineer of the European Broadcasting Union.
You had an image of him as somebody who was very important, and you had to behave and you had to get your figures right because Frank Neff was over there. I'm not renowned as a mathematical brain. I was a bit afraid that I would make an awful mistake. And I didn't make an awful mistake, really.
To the song gaining the highest number of votes from their jury, 10 to the second.
I have no recollection of being deeply nervous or deeply panicked. But I remember I kept pushing out of my mind the knowledge that whatever X million people, I've already forgotten now how many, were reputed to be watching this. Any time that little thought came creeping in, I just brushed it away.
Good evening, Israel. Could I have your votes, please?
Things were very primitive in those days. The scoreboard was kind of way over there to the left somewhere. I couldn't see it. It was kind of back there somewhere. So I had to believe what I was hearing.
United Kingdom, 12 points.
Stop,
can I...
please stop. There is a slight problem with the scoreboard.
Well, I couldn't see the scoreboard. I still had to keep some track of what was happening. Glancing at it a bit and then glancing at monitors.
Good evening, Yugoslavia. Could I have your votes, please? Good evening, Yugoslavia. We'll try once again. Good evening, Yugoslavia. Could I have your votes, please?
We have still some difficulties to get Yugoslavia, but I think they are coming in.
Fine, we'll hold on for just a moment. If I could see the scoreboard, I think it looks... Yugoslavia. Good evening, Yugoslavia. Could I have your votes, please?
I don't have it.
Yeah? Thank you very much.
Somebody told me afterwards it was a wrong number. Now, I'm not sure how true that was, but that this woman didn't know what was going on, got this lunatic from Dublin looking for scores and said, no, not here. And then they got the right number.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, Yugoslavia, I can hear you.
I'm calling Dublin. Belgrade's calling Dublin. Do you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Here are the results of the Yugoslav jury.
Thank you.
Hello, Dublin?
Hello.
Yes. Okay.
Fine, thank you.
Here are the results of the Yugoslav jury.
Despite all the pressure, and she may not have been enjoying it, you had absolute confidence that she wasn't going to crack and that she was going to see us through to the bitter end.
1993, and the third of our single female presenters to make a dramatic entry to the Eurovision stage, Fionnuala, Sweden.
Fionnuala, in a word, sex.
Bonsoir et bienvenue à vous tous qui regardez RTS ce soir.
She so enjoyed the whole presenting that I think it was something that just stretched out of the screens and just grabbed people, and they said, you know, this is kind of a new modern Irish woman.
I'd say she was probably the most prepared of any of the presenters that I can recall. And there was an element of confidence and an element of real hunger, I thought, actually, as well.
1995 and our most recent single presenter.
Our presenter for this evening, Mary Kennedy.
I enjoyed the entrance. It was a really dramatic kind of entrance. It was, I suppose, it was a challenge for a start because you had to count from the very first. And if I missed out on one, well then I could have done a nice little lurch forward at the end. That was a real buzz to be making that really dramatic entrance. I suppose it was probably a little bit cheeky to go out there and say,
Radio Telefi Sharon is pleased to welcome you once again to the Point Theatre in Dublin for what has almost become the annual Eurovision Song Contest from Ireland.
But you see, the Irish audience that were there that night were just so proud of the fact that this was the third. There was a huge cheer, not only from the Irish contingent, but from everybody. I think really the delegations from the other countries would have been quite happy if the Eurovision had continued to come from Ireland for many years after. Way back in 1981, I was asked to be understudy for the Eurovision for Deireadh Ní Bhríon, and from then I definitely wanted to present the Eurovision. And I did go for the audition another year, I think it was 1988, which was the time that Michelle Rock and Pat Kenny presented it. I didn't get it, and I think then when you do get to do something that you haven't got first time around, it's sweeter for having had to wait for it. So I was thrilled. I loved it.